What Mark and Faye Leveson have been through to find the truth about the death of their son Matt is extraordinary. The 20-year-old vanished 10 years ago after having a fight with his older partner. That man, Michael Atkins, denied any involvement in the disappearance. He sensationally claimed Matt was still alive. But Mark and Faye, as well as the police, always knew it was a cruel lie. To expose it and to find Matt's body, the Levesons agreed to a horrible deal with the devil. In return for immunity from prosecution, a free stay-out-of-jail card, Atkins revealed where he buried Matt and then told detectives his version of how Matt died. Mark and Faye say it's more lies, but in a surprising twist, others aren't so sure. It's late afternoon, and after years of intensive searching, Sydney's Royal National Park finally gives up its tragic secret. Police have uncovered the bush grave of 20-year-old Matthew Leveson, missing for almost a decade. For the longest time, Mark and Faye Leveson have wanted nothing more than to find their son's body. But this discovery also brings an irrevocability they've long dreaded.
Considering that for all these years you wanted to find your son, and there he was, can you describe that emotion in that moment?
It's just like a finality. It was like, I can't describe it, it was bittersweet. I was happy that we kept our promise to him, but on the same token, it was real. It was very, very real.
Matt was found on the 31st of May this year, but only because this man, Michael Atkins, finally admitted to burying him here. For nearly 10 years, Atkins has done nothing but lie, repeatedly denying any knowledge of his boyfriend's disappearance in 2007.
Michael, are you in any way connected with the disappearance of Matt Leveson?
No.
Is there anything else that you wish to say about Matt and his disappearance?
No.
Do you know where Matt is now?
No.
The truth is, Atkins knew all along that Matt was dead and buried in a lonely, unmarked grave.
Did he give you details on how long he was here, how long it took?
He described it as taking between half an hour to an hour to dig the grave. He described it as 2 metres long, a metre wide and about 800 millimetres deep. And he dug it with the matic that he purchased from Bunnings.
He could have ended this nightmare for us nearly 10 years ago.
And he chose
not to.
He played the gamble. He didn't think we were going to keep going. Wrong, mate. Wrong. Wrong family. You took something so dear, so precious, so priceless that we weren't going to give up. We were going to bring our son home.
Mark and Faye have always believed Michael Atkins murdered their son. And despite being acquitted of the crime, in the court of public opinion, he's always been guilty.
You were with him the night that he disappeared.
But this week, for the first time, the coroner's court has heard Michael Atkins' side of the story. What he says really happened the night Matt died.
What did Michael Atkins say about how...
Detective Chief Inspector Gary Jublin has led the investigation for the last 3 years.
Atkins' account is that he believed that Matt had died of a drug overdose. When he woke up in the morning, he'd slept in the lounge, that Matt was deceased in the bedroom.
With Matt dead in their apartment, Atkins' next move is impossible to comprehend. He did nothing. He didn't call an ambulance, certainly not the police, nor Matt's parents. Instead, he did everything to cover up Matt's death. Why? Well, he claims because he panicked.
He proffered the reason for that was that he was ashamed of the fact that Matt was significantly younger than him and that he was possibly responsible for looking after him, and that he died whilst he was living with him in his care, so to speak, and his family wasn't aware of the lifestyle he was living, and he only recently came out as a homosexual.
So what do you make of his account?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
He had 9.5 years to formulate a best version of events that he can. And I think that's what he's done.
Is it feasible that your son did die of a drug overdose?
Nothing's impossible.
Nothing but why go to this cover-up?
Michael was 43 and Matt just 19 when they started their relationship in 2006. They would often go to Sydney's Arc nightclub together. And on Sunday, the 23rd of September 2007, this is where they came to party, to drink and take drugs. Just after 2 a.m, CCTV captures first Matt and then Michael leaving the club. In his final text messages to another friend, Matt is unhappy. Upset Michael is making them leave early. 3:30 Sunday morning is the last time anyone hears from Matt. When did you become aware that Matt was missing?
Not until the Tuesday. Matt's work rang our home on the Tuesday morning because Matt was late.
What do you do? Who do you call and what are you told?
I rang Atkins, left messages for him. He didn't ring back. He finally rang back to say Maddie hasn't come home.
Right from the start, Atkins chose to lie. In the days after he and Matt left the nightclub, Atkins told this story to family and police, that the couple spent the Sunday together at home before Matt inexplicably disappeared.
What happened on Sunday?
We sort of just had, lazy Sunday afternoon, really. I fell asleep on the lounge, watching sort of TV and woke up a little while later and he wasn't at home. So I sent him a text and said, where are you, whatever.
But Atkins' story started to unravel and Matt's fate became tragically clearer when the young man's abandoned car was discovered by police.
Once we heard that, it was confirming all of our earlier thoughts.
And your worst fears, I'd imagine.
Yes.
He's dead. My son's been murdered. I knew.
That's what you felt at the time?
I knew he wasn't coming home.
Is there anything you can say about that?
Don't think so.
Is there anything that comes to mind when we tell you that we've located his car at Waratah Oval?
Not really.
But in the boot of Matt's car, police had found a discarded receipt from Bunnings. It led them to this damning CCTV footage of Atkins buying a Matic and gaffer tape at the very time he claims he was asleep at home. What is it like for you to see that?
Sickening. Sickening.
The camera doesn't lie, but Atkins did, still denying to police he ever went to Bunnings.
It's our belief that you went to Bunnings warehouse and you're the person who purchased that pic and that gaffer tape. Is there anything you wish to say about that?
Don't think it was me.
Who do you think it could be?
I don't know.
The police asked us early on, they said, would you be prepared to help out if we need anything done? I said, well, of course. Whatever you need, just ask. We're at your disposal.
Police asked Mark and Faye to meet with Atkins, pretending to offer him sympathy and friendship. Mark was wired up with a listening device to record the conversation.
We went and saw Atkins at his apartment and sat with him. Poor Faye gave the bastard a hug and a kiss. I had to shake his hand.
They did their job so well that for the first time, Atkins admitted he'd bought the Matic, but claimed it was to dig a vegetable garden, a garden that has never existed. This is a man that you've suspected has something to do with the disappearance of your son.
I was physically sick. I had to sit there and look at him and watch him scratch and sweat and lie.
Boy, was he nervous.
He was nervous.
Absolutely.
He was nervous.
What about you?
I was just trying to think of what to ask that would help the investigation. And we did have him admit for the very first time that he had bought the Matic.
On the 5th of August 2008, police charge Atkins with murder. To almost all, it seems case closed. But without a confession and without a body, the evidence is circumstantial.
What do you believe happened?
After a 6-week trial and 5-day deliberation, the jury acquits Michael Atkins of murder and manslaughter. When you heard not guilty at the trial, what was that moment like?
Speechless.
Wow, stunning.
Sickening for him to just walk and not be able to say what really happened, tell us what was just devastating. Absolutely devastating.
Coming up, the agony of searching for their son,
And you just cry and you think, where do you start?
trading justice for the truth,
It was a big gamble, but
deal with it every
we'd do it again in a heartbeat.
and how Michael Atkins finally came unstuck. Was that a gotcha moment? Was it, yes, now we might have a breakthrough? That's next on 60 Minutes.